Welcome back to CIO Career Coach. Last season, we focused on your strategic CIO job search. We talked about establishing your personal brand, defining your job market, writing a winning resume, and prepping for your interview. This season, we're switching it up and focusing on the skills that top CIOs are developing to be successful in the new era of IT. What is the new era of IT? It's a world where all of a sudden technology belongs to everyone. Unlike even 5 years ago, today, all of your customers and all of your employees are using all of your tools all of the time. What does it take to have a successful CIO career in this new environment? That's what I recently asked over 50 CIOs, primarily of Fortune 500 companies. From these interviews, I compiled a list of the most important skills that today's successful CIOs have in common. And that's what this series of CIO Career Coach is all about. So let's begin. Today, the skill we're going to talk about is becoming a digital leader. Bask Iyer, the CIO of VMware, has a concept he calls the CEO missing out syndrome, and it goes like this. Most CEOs think, I like my CIO. She's kept costs down, we run a secure enterprise, and our business systems support our growth. My CIO has done everything I've asked her to do. However, I feel like I'm missing out. There are cool things happening in Silicon Valley, and I'm concerned that we're missing out on a disruptive technology that's going to change the fundamentals of our business. These CEOs do one of a number of things. They might sit down with their CIO and say, I anoint you. You are now the head of digital innovation. You've got the knowledge, the credibility, and the team to drive our company into the digital future. Or they might fire their devoted CIO and hire one who comes in shiny with the promise of innovation. Or they might nudge their trusted CIO gently to the operational sidelines and hire a new executive, a chief digital officer. Now, this last move can create some problems. Currently, the shelf life of the CIO is approaching 5 years, which is a lot better than a few years ago. But do you know what the shelf life of a chief digital officer is? 18 months. So along comes a chief digital officer who develops what is essentially a new technology strategy that focuses on the customer, but does not necessarily take into consideration information security, architectural integrity, or the connection to the back-end systems. The chief digital officer moves and shakes for about 18 months and then leaves, and the CIO is left picking up the pieces in an effort to get a unified technology strategy back on track. That's one challenge. The other challenge is that many chief digital officers are former chief marketing officers who know a lot about digital marketing. But digital is so much more than marketing. Digital is manufacturing, supply chain, employee productivity, R&D. When your CEO hires a chief digital officer, your company sometimes winds up reducing digital to marketing and misses out on much that digital has to offer. Now, I don't mean to imply that if your company has hired a chief digital officer, you need to head for the hills. But I do want to stress that if you, as CIO, want to play a critical role in digital transformation, understand that digital is not a function, it's a capability, and it is your job to develop that capability across your company. Dave Smoley, the CIO of AstraZeneca, presents a great example of digital leadership. To quote Dave, we've got pockets of digital activity all over the place. R&D is working with sensors, oncology is working on digital injection technologies. Everyone is chasing the same problem, but we're not talking to each other. So, Dave established a digital center of excellence. The person he asked to lead it is not from IT, but he does have systems implementation experience in his background. Dave also made sure that his CTO has a permanent role in the center. To quote Dave, I want to avoid the scenario where there is the digital conversation and then there is the IT conversation. Dave is not officially a member of the Center of Excellence. He developed it and incubated it and has now moved on within AstraZeneca to bring other new capabilities to the $26 billion pharmaceutical company. To sum up, if you are in IT and you want a successful CIO career, don't cede digital strategy to others. Take a leadership role in digital transformation by working with your business partners to bring digital as a capability to the enterprise. The next skill we're going to discuss in the series, changing the culture in IT.